Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Vision if you're new here. Today we're going to talk about IVF. I feel like this is a process that nobody could have ever prepared me for. When me and my partner started this journey, we thought that there were going to be more so directions handed to us. That was not the case. We are going through a fertility clinic because we are two women. We're doing reciprocal IVF, meaning I am using her eggs to put inside of me with a sperm donor. And so we both have to have certain tests run on our bodies. And so it starts with blood work and ultrasounds and saline ultrasounds for me specifically to check my womb, and then ultrasounds specifically for her to check her eggs. Just for more context, she is female 35, about to be 36, and I am female, just turned 32. Something that we kind of ran into is she had her ultrasound for her eggs, and the woman kind of looked at her and was like, "You have a low egg count." And this is really scary for us. So we've kind of hit our first, I guess you could say, rough patch in the journey, and it's something that we're afraid of. But we also know that you can do multiple IVF retrievals for the eggs to then be able to make embryos to then put inside of me. Something I always try to do is to be a really big optimist, and I create lists and notes and, run the facts before I run off of emotion. So when we found out, oh, her egg count is low, I was like, okay, what do we do? So we have one or two more tests to do for genetics, and then we can pick a sperm donor and start the process. And something that I was looking into was, well, even if you only have a couple of eggs every cycle, those eggs can still turn into embryos, which can then turn into the embryos to put inside of me. And if we have to do multiple retrievals, then that's also possible as well. I guess the scary thing is for us is we don't know how many eggs that are there in particular, because the technician doctor kind of said, you have a low egg count. She is 36 years old. And funny enough, I've read so many places about 40-year-olds having babies and not having any issues or anything like that. But it's one of those things where the biological ticker is on us at this point. And so we're trying to get through this process as quickly as possible. My partner is someone who's always wanted a baby her entire life. So it is a dream of mine to give that to her, and I'm hoping to make that happen. It's been a lot, I will say. They give you a lot of directions at once, and they don't exactly overly explain it to you. We can do local monitoring once my partner gets her medications, because you do your blood work, you do the ultrasounds, then they give you medications. You do those medications to basically make your eggs the best quality and healthy as they can be. And then you go and you do the egg retrieval. And during that process, during the same week, you could put those eggs if they turn into embryos and to me, but if they don't, then we would have to come back another cycle basically to do another round of retrievals for those eggs to turn into embryos. My goal and my hope is that our first time we get at least an embryo that we can just transfer right over to me and get it going. But when we do the egg retrieval process, we have to travel. So this place is not local to us. We would either have to go to, I think, Virginia or New York or Florida, Colorado. There's a bunch of big city locations, but there's nothing within 4 or 5 hours to us. We would have to go at least 8 to 12, maybe further hours. It depends on what location we choose when they have the soonest opening. I guess the point of this video is kind of to explain that if you are a gay couple looking to do IVF, it is not so black and white. And there's a lot that goes into it, especially for reciprocal. I don't think there would be as much if it was just my partner carrying the baby herself. However, we didn't want that. We wanted me to be able to carry the baby so that me and the baby could form a bond, even though it's her egg. I think for us, it was something that was really important because I am a little younger. I was completely ready to carry for her, and I want to feel that bond to that baby because it's not my egg, which I'm totally fine with. I'm not saying that in a bad way, but I have a list of all the things that we need to get done. And like I said, at this point, we are in the cycle of we're going to do a little bit more blood work tomorrow, and then hopefully we move forward with getting her started on her egg medicine to really pump up her body and get ready for the egg retrieval. I'm gonna try to do more videos on this journey as we go, but this is kind of the first one. We're very anxious, we're a little sad right now, but we are trying to move forward in this process. As always, thanks for listening to me ramble, and I'll see you next week.